let's look at the first problem. Which graph best represents the solution set to the system of inequalities? So each one of these are not solved for y. So we've got to solve them for y. So I'm going to write it over here. X plus y is less than 1. So let's solve for y. So I need to move the x. So minus x minus x. Y is less than negative x plus 1. So this one is going to be dashed and below. So let's look at our answer choices. This has a -1 slope, y-intercept of +1. So we are going to start at 1. So each one of these start at 1. But if we want to narrow down our choices, remember this has to be dashed. So this is dashed and this is dashed. These two are not. So that narrows down your choices. And it's supposed to be shaded below. So right now it's looking like A is the correct answer, but we need to check it. So it's a +1 down 1 over 1. So see how that is the correct line? So that's how I know that's the correct line. Okay. Let's look at the next one. X minus y is less than or equal to 2. X minus y is less than or equal to 2. So before you say how it's shaded, you first need to solve it for y. So minus x. Negative y is less than or equal to negative x plus 2. So then we need to divide by a -1 all the way through. When you divide by a negative, you have to flip the sign. So it's a positive y because negative over negative is positive, is now greater than or equal to negative over negative becomes positive x. Positive 2 over -1 is -2. So looking at the symbol, this is solid. Greater than means above. So we're not even looking at these two. So we need to plot the y-intercept. -2 on both of them. And then a slope of 1 over 1. Okay, so that's correct. Slope of 1 over 1. So I'm looking at both answer choices at the same time. Then it needs to be shaded above. Where is the double shaded area? It is right here. See how that's double shaded? And this is shaded on our answer sheet, answer sheet, answer choice. This one's shaded. This is not even shaded at all. So that's not a solution. So A is the correct answer. Let's look at the next one. Both of these are solved for y. So let's look and see. We can go ahead and decide solid or dashed. So this is A greater than or equal to, so it's solid. Greater than means above. So start at -1. So each one of these are at -1, and then up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2. So this is the correct line, and it's solid, so that's good. Up 1 over 2, 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 up 1 over 2. It's also solid. Up 1 over 2. Oh, this one's dashed. That's wrong because it's supposed to be solid. So that means J is out. And it's supposed to be shaded above. So we have these. So shade above. Shade above. It's already shaded for us, but yeah. All right, so far everything is that's up there is correct. So we can just leave those answer choices. Now let's look at the next one. Y is greater than 4 over 3x minus 1. So this is supposed to be dashed. And greater than means above. So let's check and see a y-intercept of -2. And then up 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1, 2, 3. That is the line. But this one is solid. It's supposed to be dashed. So it's this steeper line that's supposed to be dashed. And it's not. So F is out. So now we're between these two. Let's look. Let's check this one. So starting at -2, up 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1, 2, 3. And it's a dashed line, but it's supposed to be shaded above. What would above look like? I should have went a different way. But this one's shaded below. It's supposed to be above. So that's why that answer choice is out. The double shaded would be here. All right, let's look at this one. So it starts at -2, up 4 over 3. It is dashed. It's supposed to be shaded above, which would be right here. So our double shaded area is right here. Solution. So H is the correct answer. You know what you can also do is you can also graph these. Let me show you how to graph them. I'm going to put in the first one and the second one. But what I do need to change is over here. So the second one is supposed to be above. So I push enter. I go to the line and I change this to above. See how that's above? That's just a line. If I go this way, see how that's below a line? So top above, that's below, so it's above. And go to OK. See how I got there? I just went to the other side of the equal sign, the other side of the white one. Push enter. And then this is also above. So see when I graph it, this is what it looks like. And so you see your double shaded area. The only thing that you would now have to check, so the only one that looks like that are these two. See how that looks like that? But what you would have to check is solid and dash. So there's one solid, one dash. Both of these are solid, so that's wrong. This one's dash, this one's solid, so that works. Okay, let's look at the next one. Which graph can be used to find the solution of the system? So this is a graph. The solution to a system is where they intersect. So we would need to solve each one of these for y, and then we can look at them on the calculator. So I'm going to write the first equation, and I'm going to solve it. So it's y equals -2x minus 4. Okay, so that's our first one. Our second one, I'm going to go ahead and write that. To solve this one, I just need to divide by -3. So y equals, that stays the same, so it's just -2 over 3x. And then 12 divided by -3 is a -4. Real quick, look at our equations. What do they have the same of? Same y-intercept. So that's going to be your intersection point. They both have a y-intercept of -4. That one doesn't. That has a +4 and a -4. This one doesn't even go through there. That one just has 1. I think the answer is this, but let's check it in the calculator. I do need to go back and clear this. I'm going to change it back to a line. And then okay. I'm going to go back over here. Change it back to a line by arrowing left or right. I went left. And now change these. Negative 2x minus 4. And negative 2 over 3x minus 4. And then graph. So if they have the same y-intercept, they should cross at that y-axis at the same point. Only one that does that is answer choice A. So look at that. They do look a little different because of how this window is set up. Our window is set up with negative 10 to positive 10, negative 10 to positive 10. This one's set up negative 6 to positive 4, and negative 6 to positive 4. But they are essentially the same thing. Okay, let's keep on going. Which graph represents this inequality? We're going to have to solve this for y. One thing you can do, though, is look here. This determines solid or dashed. Since it just is a greater than symbol, it's going to be dashed. So that helps us narrow down our choices right away. They're all the same line, but we need to know, is it shaded above or shaded below? You have to solve it for y. You can't just say, oh, it's greater than, it's above, because sometimes it changes that symbol. Remember how the symbol changes? That's if you divide by a negative all the way through. So we just need to make sure that doesn't change. So we need to solve it for y. So we need to add 2x to both sides. 3y is greater than 2x plus 12. Then divide by 3. I did not leave myself enough room, but I can write it over here. Y is greater than 2 over 3x plus 4. So we didn't have to change the sign. So greater than means to shade above. The only one that's shaded above would be F. Let's look at number 5. This is similar to the other one, but this one is thankfully already solved for y. So y is greater than or equal to negative 7 over 2x minus 2. So greater than or equal to tells us it's going to be a solid line. So let's narrow down our choices. It can't be dashed. Greater than means above. So think about your airplane arms. It's like he's doing the disco. So your head is where it's above. This is above. This one is below. So where your arms are, or where your head is where it's above. Where your feet are, below. So this is shaded in the correct way. So B is your correct answer.